Thank you for having me in this very interesting initiative. Especially, I want to say thanks to Professor Vasco for the invitation. I'm going to speak about the Bitcoin in general, about the cryptocurrency, and in particular about the Bitcoin. An important innovation brought about the digitalization has been the emergence of cryptocurrencies. The proliferation of cryptocurrency has been very rapid, and there are currently more than 9,500 different types. However, their capitalization is very uneven, with the leading cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, accounting for 80% of the total, followed far behind by Ethereum, which accounts for less than 10% of the total. The name cryptocurrency is composed by the Greek word "kryptos" and the word "currency". Kryptos means hidden or concealed, and is a term related to cryptanalysis and cryptology. The first word means the theory of solving cryptograms or cryptographic system, and the second, the scientific study of cryptography and cryptanalysis. From both meanings, it must be understood that thanks to the use of encryption, the computer system which gives shape to this money allow the electronic monetary transaction to be accounted for without resorting to intermediaries. Safe from manipulation, the system makes it possible to transfer money without the use of a bank account, which, supported by financial institutions, can only operate through central banks, thus becoming an alternative to the conventional financial system that works around the central bank by another distributed system. In fact, cryptocurrencies propose an alternative financial system by generating capital that is not denominated in national currencies. Pardon. The birth of cryptocurrency was made possible by the invention of a new computer technology called blockchain, capable of interlinking all the users for a system in encrypted form. Presenting in academic articles signed under the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto, entitled A Peer-to-Peer Electronic Cash System, this invention created the first cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency generated by computers through a process called mining, which consists of solving complex mathematical problems called algorithms. The solution of each algorithm creates a new Bitcoin. Its essential feature in encryption, because encryption is crucial for the system as a whole, as it avoids the need for a middleman for payments. Each user of the system is a node that will be able to carry out Bitcoin transactions without intermediaries, for instance, without using financial institutions. The interrelation between the nodes created by the blockchain turns each node into a trustee of the transactions. The absence of any intermediary explains that cryptocurrencies are not a simple means of payment, and, in fact, have a monetary appearance. But are they digital money? The absence of the legal definition of money does not make the answer easy. However, case law provides some key points. Advocate General Giovanni Pizzorelsa, in joining cases C-422-19 and C-423-19 at point 77, stated, in economic theory, a functional definition of money, understood in the more general sense of money, tends to be used, which, according to a concept dating back to Aristotle, reveals the three functions it serves, namely, first, a unit of account, second, a means of payment, of exchange, and third, a store of value. According to the Advocate General, there are three characteristics that a currency must possess. It must constitute a means of payment or generalized exchange. It must be a unit of account. For instance, it must serve as a reference for magnitude of the prices of goods and services, and it must be a store of value. It must serve as a means for individuals to save. Let us start with the first characteristic. Whatever cryptocurrency are with the spread means of payment of exchange, we only should have to go to a supermarket to see that it's not possible to make purchases with cryptocurrencies. Nor is there any prospect that it will be possible in the short of a medium term. No, cryptocurrency is a unit of account. It is not used to measure prices. On the contrary, the value of cryptocurrency is expressed in terms of their price in conventional currencies, such as dollars, euros, or yen. This is not a small matter, because it's precisely the enormous fluctuation of their value that prevents them from becoming a widespread means of payments. The explanation is simple. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, which will lead to huge and rapid price fluctuations. By contrast, cryptocurrency has an effective store of value. They are a means of saving of investment due to their rising value. The rising price relative to conventional currency has transformed them into a way of multiplying savings, even though they do not produce dividends, like bonds or shares. Cryptocurrencies are therefore assets, albeit highly volatile. Indeed, the latter quality has reinforced the true nature of cryptocurrencies, and in particular Bitcoin. Data show that 73% of Bitcoin are held in dormant accounts, reducing the likelihood that they will ever satisfy the first two characteristics, and thus be real money. If cryptocurrencies are not as true currencies, since they cannot meet the characteristic they are supposed to pose, what is their nature? The functioning indicates that they are a financial asset at a means of payment, not generalized, but not real money. There are very unique financial assets which do not use the traditional financial system, nor do they express the capital in real currencies, although they offer their price in their currencies, determining their true value. One of the first countries to regulate this asset was Brazil. Despite some initial rumors that the South American giant was going to consider them a legal tender, Bill 2315 only sought to regulate the virtual asset and virtual financial activity service providers, increasing investor protection. Finally, Law 14,478 of 21st December 2022 approved them as a virtual assets. The European Union has also followed this approach. The European Union regulation of crypto asset markets, also known as the Market of Crypto Assets Act, was adopted in June 2023, as has gradually entered into force until December 2024. The regulation on market in crypto assets and amended regulation number 1093 2010 and 10,095 2010 and Directive 2013-36 European Union European Union 2019 1937 established harmonized rules for crypto assets at the European Union level, thereby providing legal certainty for crypto assets not covered by 16 European Union legislation. This regulation defines crypto assets as digital representations of values of rights, tradable and transferable electronically, using digital ledger technology, DLT. This regulation is part of a regulation for financial instruments in crypto asset form. The legislation regulates usage and trading in crypto assets, as well as the management of underlying assets. However, there are some exceptions. In El Salvador, Bitcoin has been legal tender since the entry into force of the legislative decree number 57 of 8 June 2021. After 4 years, with the amendment of 6 articles and the deletion of 3 of the pioneer legislation passed in September 2021, cryptocurrency ceased to be an official currency. It uses regulators to exchange between citizens and private companies, and its acceptance is no longer mandatory but voluntary. Bitcoin and the Trump administration. The relationship between cryptocurrency and, in particular, Bitcoin and President Trump has changed over time. On 12 July 2019, President Trump wrote of the social network Twitter, I quote, "I've not found Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based of air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activity." End of the quote. However, after losing his re-election as president, his relationship with the crypto world changed. The first step in this transition was the launch in December 2022 on Trump Digital Trading Cards, a type of non-fungible token, TFK. In July 2024, this new relationship with cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin in particular, was made public at the Nashville Bitcoin Conference, where he announced a plan for the United States to become the crypto capital of the planet, in his own words. On his second day in the White House, President Donald Trump granted a full pardon to Ross Ulbricht, the founder of the dark web marketplace Silk Road. This action is part of a set of promises Trump made to the cryptocurrency community during his election campaign. These include the creation of a strategic Bitcoin reserve and the promise to immediately fire Gary Gensler, then chairman of the Security and Exchange Commission, who resigned upon the president's arrival. Trump's return to the White House coincides with a major surge in cryptocurrencies. In December, Bitcoin surpassed the mark of $100,000 for the first time, a significant milestone after 16 years of boom and bust. On March 6, 2025, the president signed an executive order establishing the strategic Bitcoin reserve and the United States digital asset stockpile. Proponents of the move say the reserve will act as a hedge against financial instability in a hypothetical future in which cryptocurrency replace regular money issued by central banks. They argue that a Bitcoin investment could help pay down the national debt. Of course, the argument for a reserve is basically that there are very small chances that Federal Reserve could completely mismanage the dollar. I quote, "It's a small change," Jesus January, co-founder of crypto new platform World, told me. But in that case, things like gold and Bitcoin do become hedged against dollar debasement and inflation. Critics question the wisdom of tying America's financial future to a purely speculative, highly volatile asset. They argue that the reserve is a little more than a scheme to enhance the value of Bitcoin, thereby using the portfolios of early investors, such as the Route 30 crypto CEOs who descended to the White House for a meeting with the president on Friday. The White House ordered say the reserve will be built using only the Bitcoin site by law enforcement. We cannot forget that Trump has surrounded himself by the number of businessmen connected with the world of new technologies, for whom the financial terrain is a final stage to be conquered. In this regard, I would like to recall the book Netocracy, The New Power Elite in Life After Capitalism, published in Swedish in 2000 in English in 2002. The thesis of the book is as follows. There will be no life without logos, but neither will capitalism silently take over democracy. So what coming is next? After capitalism comes netocracy. Those who can harness network of information and master new forms of communication will control finance and legislation, forming the new business and government elites. They will inherit the power. They are the netocrats. The Trump administration policy of establishing tariffs has also affected Bitcoin, showing its true nature. Although the most enthusiasts have always defended Bitcoin's role as a safe haven of a par with gold, in reality, in this time of uncertainty and tension, it has behaved more like a risk asset. That is to say, although expectation about Bitcoin has suggested that Bitcoin could function as a risk of asset, this asset, like gold, acts as a traditional safe haven that tends to retain its value or represent instead of Market Street, functioning as a protective instrument for investors. However, his collapse after the tariff policy has shown recon behavior, typical of risk-sensitive assets that can experience significant falls in concepts of uncertainty. Quantum computer and Bitcoin. As we say at the beginning of this article, Bitcoin is an asset based in cryptography, and specifically in the invention of a new computer technology called blockchain, capable of interconnecting all the users of a system in encrypted form. Although this is the main advantage, it may also be its main risk. In fact, although there is no consensus on when it will happen, the use of quantum computing threatens current encryption and security protocols given the decryption capabilities. For example, the Monetary Authority of Singapore used local banks to adopt post-quantum encryption, warning that experts believe that the cybersecurity risks associated with quantum will materialize over the next decade. Many organizations and public institutions are investing in post-quantum readiness. Singapore invested $74 million earlier this year to boost quantum computing in the country, while the USA Air Force is leveraging quantum computing for military logistics. Recently, a new storybook, The Foundation of Bitcoin, A group of Chinese researchers had claimed to have orchestrated the world's first effective attack of classic encryption. Methods used in military application, finance, and digital assets using a quantum computer. The team of the Shanghai University and published research in a Chinese academic journal run by the state-owned China Computer Federation. A South China Morning Post report described the project as a first time quantum computing has threatened the encryption method that most sectors rely on today. I quote, "This is the first time that a real quantum computer has posed a real and substantial threat to multiple full-scale SPN structured algorithms in use today." Cao and his team declined any interviews to the scientific nature of their research. While this was a significant milestone in quantum computing, Cao acknowledged that he still hadn't solved decryption, as large-scale operations were still limited by undeveloped hardware and environmental factors. That's all. Thank you very much. I want to repeat my thanks to Professor Vasco for the invitation. Thank you very much, Doctor.